Hello and welcome to another Doctor Who episode review. Today I'm reviewing The Day of the Doctor, which was the 50th anniversary episode, which aired last week. So what did I think? Well, I thought it was fantastic. I'm going to start off with little nods that I liked from the episode. So first of all, the William Hartnell opening titles. Obviously they haven't been seen since 1967, since Evil of the Daleks anyway, so a long time ago. So it's very nice for them to be seen. Obviously there's the policeman after that, and Coal Hill School and Totter's Lane, all of that little stuff. I really like that. When Clara's going past on her motorbike, it says 5:16 on the clock, which of course was the time that the first episode was aired, on the 23rd November 1963. So yeah, I love the bit where the TARDIS is airlifted into London. It's just brilliant. The one word to describe it, brilliant. It just looked magnificent. So yeah, I enjoyed that. And then the music that plays, I think it's the Slitheen theme from Series 1. I'm not certain, but I think that's it. And then the music that plays when the actors' names come up on the screen, I loved that as well. And I watched it in the cinema as well, and it just looked brilliant in the cinema. Now the scarf, scarf, I can't remember the name. It's very similar to Tom Baker's scarf, except it's not as long. It's actually really short, it's about that long on her, so it's very short. I didn't really know what to think. I don't know if I liked it or didn't like it or anything really. So I've put it in the thing, in the bit that I liked, in the column thing. Yeah, and I thought it seems to be as if the 11th Doctor has a thing for getting out the TARDIS when it's in flight, because obviously at the start of the 11th hour he's clinging onto the TARDIS, practically shitting himself. And that looked quite weird, and obviously he does it in this episode, and I think he does it quite well. Obviously he's the only Doctor who would do it so far. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah, something I really wanted to mention, the way Matt Smith kind of moves from this weird, confident bloke to a really serious person. So yeah, I love the way the three Doctors got along. Obviously they had the three nicknames for each other. There was Grandad, Sandshoes, and Chinny. I think it's Chinny. And the banter between all three of them was just brilliant. I loved it. John Hurt's Sonic Screwdriver, basically a mix of the classic series Sonics and the new series Sonics. So it's basically a classic casing with the new series light at the end, except with a red light rather than a blue or green. And then the TARDIS, obviously a mix between the Eccleston and Tennant console room and the classic console room. So yeah, I like that. My favourite bit though, well, one of my favourite bits, because I had a lot of favourite bits, was when all three of these doctors say their catchphrase when they're going to fly their TARDISes into Gallifrey. So Matt says Geronimo, Tennant says Allons-y, and then John Hurt, this really made me laugh this bit, he just says, "Oh, for God's sake." So obviously his TARDIS is broken down, and yeah, I just really like it. Again, I loved the way Eccleston regenerated into Tennant. So I love the way Hurt regenerated into Eccleston. So yeah, obviously we've seen all the regenerations now. 1 to 2, 2 to 3, so on. It'll be interesting to see how Peter Capaldi thing works out. There'll be a spoiler video about that, which I'll hopefully be making soon, about the time of the Doctor, the Christmas special. Now, my favourite bit, overall, my favourite bit, the Tom Baker bit. So basically, Elizabeth makes the Doctor the curator of the undergallery of the museum. So when the Doctor is, God knows how many incarnations in, he goes back to revisit a few of his past incarnations, and he goes back to Tom Baker. Except at this point he's decided to retire at being the Doctor and become the curator, and so obviously that's how Tom Baker's in it, and I loved that. Tom Baker being my favourite Doctor, it's just awesome to see him back in. I don't know why I said awesome, I hate that word. So yeah, there's not much to say about that. A lot of people have been asking me whether he's human or Time Lord. The first time I said human, because I wasn't sure, but after a few repeats of watching it, I kind of do understand now quite a lot. And then in the last 30 seconds or so, you've got all 13 Doctors, all 12 Doctors, and it's just really nice. And obviously you've got that bit with Peter Capaldi with his eyes, really close up to the screen, and again, very nice. Yeah, and obviously I've said before, I watched this in the cinema, and everyone gasped at bits they were supposed to. Okay, so things I didn't like. The fact that Clara clicks fingers and the TARDIS doors close shut. Should have been only the Doctor who can do that, as said in Silence in the Library. The floor of the TARDIS has changed since Series 7. It doesn't really bother me too much though. Sorry about my breathing, by the way. It's quite bad at the moment. The Daleks light up things. They don't. Well, they're not on at every shot, so they can. Well, sometimes they're working, sometimes they're not, which is a bit kind of weird. But the Time War bit was brilliant, fantastic. I love that. I'm glad that we've been able to see a bit of the Time War. Billie Piper returning. I didn't really like this, but as she wasn't Rose, I suppose it was fine. She was the Bad Wolf, for any of you who haven't watched it. And then the main plot with the Zygons, that was never finished. That they ended it with the people in the Black Archive not knowing whether they're human or Zygon, and they just ended it there, and they didn't finish the Zygon plot off. So I don't know where they're going to go with that. That's all I've really got to say. I really enjoyed it. I think I give it a 9 out of 10 because there is a few things I'm not particularly keen on. So yeah, next time I'm reviewing Time of Angels and Flesh and Stone, the second Weeping Angel story after Blink, and the second the song story after Silence in the Library. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'm back with that review. So thanks for watching and goodbye.